Okay, so one of the things we're up against, our generation, the generations older than us, is we're trying to advise students about the future of work and the future of business. And we're being pulled in a million different directions because the business is very untraditional as it stands right now, and it's going to continue to be. Business does not have to be brick and mortar anymore. Students do not have to leave their home. Actually, we know that now because of COVID, but they definitely don't need to leave their home to be successful in business. That has its pluses and minuses. We know as school counselors and school personnel that we know the mental health aspect of being home and being isolated is not always glamorous, and it's not always healthy for our students. But we are dealing with the concept of business in the gig economy. So gig economy is the economic activity surrounding temporary work assignments called gigs. It produces revenue for businesses and tech resources that don't want full contractual obligations. I've seen more and more students leave high school and it's easier for them to go work for Uber Eats or go do a lot of entrepreneurial side jobs, things like that, and gig their jobs out. It's like a band. If you think about a band who has a gig on a Friday night and they go to a bar and play, that's what the gig economy is. So as you'll see, here's some examples of how gig economy has really dominated the business world. And I think it's really gotten into our students' minds that they don't necessarily have to have a boss. They can be their own boss and they can piecemeal their career together by doing all these different gig jobs, but they're not necessarily building out this long-term career. So obviously a gig economy is in our everyday work. It kind of blows my mind what people spend to have fast food delivered to their house, but Uber Eats and all those different, different types of meal delivery, Lyft, all of that all seem to kind of start with Uber, and it's just exploded. So a lot of our young people have gone to that when they leave high school. This is a great way for them to make money in college, but it can also be a little bit dangerous because it's not teaching them a ton of soft skills, right? And it's not necessarily teaching them how to build a pension or a 401k and those type of long-term things. But I want to make you aware that this is what the generation is jumping into doing. And it's very entrepreneurial in spirit, and it's very exciting for a student to become their own business owner in a sense in doing this. But when you hear the term gig economy, think of like a band, right? A band does a gig on the weekends. These are people that do their job as a gig, and it's actually contributing largely to our community. In the US alone, gig workers will pass 40% of the entire labor force by 2020. So it's huge. It's huge. We know COVID rapidly accelerated the gig economy because we needed our groceries delivered. We needed to be safe, and we relied a lot on these type of gig workers. So I'm not, giving an opinion either way about it, but I think it's important that we know that that's something that's pulling our students into the workforce, and we want to just be aware that this is a huge market. It's not a bad thing. There's lots of money to be made for that. So challenges with our students. When I work with students and I help them make their career action plan, and the student says business to me, my next thing is always, what about business? What is it that entices you? What is it that you find interesting about business? What is it that you want to do within a business? And then secondly, what type of business? And I generally get crickets from students. I feel like this is a very misunderstood career pathway for students. They all say business, but they just don't understand the many avenues, like I showed you on that initial screen. We know that the future of business is rapidly changing, is connected with the digital age. Businesses are relying heavily on technology, and businesses don't necessarily need brick and mortar facilities anymore to conduct their business. So it's continuously accelerating. COVID flung it into high speed. And we know that our students, because of how they navigated COVID in school, they probably are more equipped than we are to work in that type of environment. We're also dealing with influencers in the business world. So if you don't know what an influencer, we'll talk about that in a second, but we are dealing with some forces in our pop culture where people are making millions and millions of dollars being influencers. And that's entrepreneurial and that's business in a sense. And it's very appealing to our students. Our students also don't know how to network. We know that the art of the deal, right? That's Donald Trump. We know that being a successful business person is having the ability to network, to shake hands, to talk to people, and to really grow that web of connections in order to grow and be successful in business. But we don't teach those skills in school. We teach a lot of content. We prepare our students for standardized testing. We talk about career development. We're doing so good at exposing our students to all the different career pathways that exist. But those soft skills and that ability to network is very powerful. Think about how a lot of you maybe got your jobs. Did you know somebody in that particular district? When you're competing against hundreds and hundreds of people, it helps to know somebody. And so we need to make sure that our students understand the power of LinkedIn, self-promotion, the elevator speech, those types of things to allow themselves to accelerate their career in business, besides getting the skills in whatever business pathway they want to pursue. So soft skills are imperative, but we're looking at SEL in the classroom. We're looking at MTSS. We have all of these things that we have to do. We would hope that our kids are learning soft skills as they grow and mature, and they're learning them from their home and maybe perhaps from different mentors. But we know that those are just as important in the business world as getting the education. And I've mentioned this before. How does your student apply for a job in business? So when they leave high school, they may enter that gig economy, and perhaps that will sort of teach them to be business savvy because they're basically their own boss. But it's very difficult for me to send a student onto a job application website and type in business and for it to produce anything. That's where LinkedIn is really powerful for students. A lot of businesses will seek out people through LinkedIn. So it's not necessarily the student applying for the job, but the job applying for the student. So we're going to spend some time next year in servicing on the importance of LinkedIn and helping our students promote themselves. So if you're not familiar with it, because LinkedIn is not very heavy in the education world, but it's everything in the business world. We know that and then technology accelerating the pace of business at unthinkable speeds. And isolated students need to learn more, and they need to learn how to communicate in a globalized market. So we thought we were doing great when every student needed to get at least 2 years of a foreign language. And we know that's a very difficult lift for students, but we need to have our students be capable if they want to be business owners or entrepreneurs. They need to know how to have a presence in the global market and not just in their local area, their region, or their state. So when I think of a business person, I think of Donald Trump back before he was president. He was always sort of that ultimate homegrown billionaire in the United States. He was involved in the Apprentice show, as you remember. And there was the Trump vodka, the Trump golf courses, the Trump towers. There was so much going on with Donald Trump that was sort of the image that I grew up with Donald Trump. But, how did he become a successful businessman? A lot of it was based in real estate. Real estate was something that if you could buy dirt, you could be successful as a business person. So that was sort of the old generation of like the ideal business person. And then we have these new generations of business people. So we have, Elon Musk has been all over the news recently with his acquiring Twitter. He has Tesla, he has SpaceX, he has all these different investments and entrepreneur endeavors that he has brought up. And then our students are also being faced with these influencers like the Kardashians on the right is just one example. We know that each of those different influencers have a powerful pull on our students and their concept of wealth, how you acquire wealth, how you're able to be successful in the business world. So, the reason I bring up Donald Trump is because The Art of the Deal was a very famous book. And there was a lot about investing in properties. But now we're investing in space, automation, lipstick, makeup, a presence on social media. So these are the business forces pulling on our students who might be inspired to enter the business pathway because they want to acquire wealth in these ways. So we know that the influencer versus average American net wealth is very interesting. So these are just some graphs to look at and to consider. I mean, you don't have to, like these people are not, these are people that are influencing career pathway decisions because of this mass accumulation of wealth in the business industry. So Cristiano Ronaldo earned more than $1.6 million for a single Instagram post. Never mind the millions he takes in through his football skills. He's a soccer player. Addison Rae made $5 million from TikTok last year. Ninja reportedly took in $25 million from his Twitch earnings. Perhaps most amazingly of all, 9-year-old Ryan Kaji earned an estimated $29.5 million in a year on YouTube for literally playing with toys. Top influencers can certainly earn staggering sums of money compared to the ordinary Joe. And again, these are things that are in our students' faces every day. So, we need to be aware of them. We need to be aware of the power and the pull that this can have for our students. I have a lot of students that want to be YouTube influencers. They tell me that, and that is their career plan. So let's talk about entrepreneurship and influencing. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are places popping up all over. If you've never heard of WeWork, they have a presence in Detroit. WeWork is a facility in which entrepreneurs and people that go into business for themselves can rent office space. They can rent a table, you can rent a cubicle, you can rent it for a day, a week, a month. They have access to copy machines, paper clips, internet, food, refreshments, yoga, you name it. So there's a lot of these different organizations popping up where your students who want to start businesses or want to be entrepreneurs don't have to find, again, a brick and mortar to launch their business career pathway. They can rent these types of spaces, connect with other people that have similar things like them, and be able to still get out of their home, conduct their business, grow their business with low commitment, no renting. Well, they're going to rent space, but they're not making a major commitment to a lease, et cetera. So for our entrepreneurial students, there's a lot of cool opportunities. So WeWork is located all over the United States. This is office space for rent on a short-term or long-term. And there is a place in Detroit on Woodward, a WeWork place there. So the best entrepreneurs seek to solve a problem. I've interviewed a lot of business professionals for the early college students. They've presented and they say, when the students ask, like, how did you start your business? How were you successful in business? And they consistently have told me that the best entrepreneurs and business people seek to solve a problem, not necessarily invent something brand new. How can one improve the lives of others in some way? And that is generally like the key to success in business, trying to improve or make something that already exists better. So thoughts about globalization. I'm a student of Heather McGowan. She wrote a book called The Adaptation Advantage. Adaptation Advantage is very interesting to me. It talks about the fact that we're entering this fourth revolution. And it's very interesting that the revolution is going to be based on gig economy and technology versus manufacturing and the different industrial revolutions of the past. As worldwide economies cross the bridge from analog to digital, every part of global business, currency, credentials, contracts, collaboration will all be backed and amplified by digital technologies. The speed of digital commerce seems breakneck now. When less than 20% of the US economy is transformed to digital, just imagine the pace of it in a fully digitalized global economy. So we want our students to know that it is very deeply rooted in conducting a business in the IT and digitized world. So just a few things that I've observed, and this is just my opinion and my 2 cents about when I work with students who want to pursue business. I always ask them to vocalize what they're skilled at and what they feel that they're best at. And I try to make a connection to what they tell me to all those different business pathways underneath that business umbrella. So I try to make a connection to one of those pathways and help link their skill and their interest to that specific pathway within business, so we can identify a concrete, immediate first step for them when they leave high school. So if a student wants to go into business and they say, well, I work well with people, I'm good at helping them, then maybe talk about what a human resource pathway looks like and how that's connected to the business world, but also has that human element in it. And that might inspire your student to say, oh yeah, there is a place for me in business with this skill set. Students who are very detail oriented, accounting, bookkeeping might be a good suggestion. Students that are natural leaders, business management, that is a degree they could pursue. So it's just trying to help them shake just business as a career pathway and help them have a little bit more of a focus. So just a reminder, these are all the different these are all the different pathways. And if you look at the different degrees, universities, community colleges that are available within our state, our region, and outside of our state, they don't have all of these. They will have some focus in some of them. So we want to take a look at what's available, what our students are interested in, and help find that right school that's offering that in particular. Business can be stacked, and it should be stacked, right? So, Davenport and Walsh are two major business schools in our region. And a lot of them offer certificates, professional certificates. So that's a great first step for a student. Walsh College offers a bachelor's degree and higher, but Walsh also has a presence on the Macomb Community College University Center. So we find a really solid articulation and transfer plan from Macomb Community College into Walsh's programs, and the student can continue on the Macomb Community College Center campus and attend Walsh, and the transfer plans are very seamless. It's a great opportunity. So I just want to make sure you were aware of those two that exist. But now I'm going to hand it off to Elise and allow her to talk specifically about the different, the post-secondary options in business.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for inviting me and appreciate this opportunity. As I'm listening to you, I was making little notes to myself because everything you said this morning is very appropriate to what we're doing here at Macomb. And it sounds like the transitions from high school to Macomb Community College, that transition should be very seamless as well for your students. So, I was going to, do I have the ability to click on this, or is this, are you in control right now?
No, I can stop sharing and you can pull up yours if you'd like, or you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's try that for a minute here.
So I stop, you go ahead and share yours.
All right, let me share screen. And right here. All right. All right, are you seeing it in presentation mode?
Not yet. Oh, we're seeing it, but it has your slides on the left still.
Yeah, all right, that's weird. One moment. I apologize.
That's okay. You can just advance like this, Elise. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So my name is Elise Johnson. I'm the Associate Dean of Business at Macomb Community College. And within the business area, our degrees, just kind of a broad brush here, our business degrees actually earn our students an Associate of Business Administration, or an ABA. And part of that is the rigor of the programming that we have, that helped us get to the ABA. It hasn't always been like this, but the college really wanted to pursue that option of transferability to the four-year universities and the recognition of receiving an ABA. So everything I'm going to talk to you about, except the Paraliga program, all of these that you see listed in front of you lead to an Associate of Business Administration. So in general, we have the accounting, business management, entrepreneurship. I'll skip over the center. We'll talk about that later. We have a degree in general business, global supply chain management, hospitality management, marketing, and then we just changed the name of our legal assistant program to paralegal. That was a recommendation from our advisory board, and there are some changes coming down that we're hearing about for the type of work that paralegals are going to be able to do that is more far-reaching than what we might have thought with the legal assistant. And so we chose to change the name of that program, and right now that program results in an Associate of Applied Science. So starting with our accounting program, very recently, in fact, we just went to curriculum committee with this, and it's going to begin in the fall. We realized that a lot of our accounting students weren't necessarily on track to go to a four-year program and become what we might think of as traditional accountants. We had a lot of our students saying, you know, they want to get through this two-year program, get their ABA in accounting, and get out into the workforce. This would be doing bookkeeping, accounts payable and receivable, payroll, those kinds of jobs that require that you have the knowledge in accounting, but not necessarily that you go on for a four-year degree, become an accountant, become a CPA, and that trajectory. So we just went to curriculum committee a few months ago, and we now have two accounting pathways. The first leads to that four-year transfer plan. Everything in that program transfers to our four-year partners. We then have the second pathway, which is the associate degree as the terminal degree. The student does not plan on going to the four-year programs, and they want to get their associate and move on and get themselves into the job, get themselves into a job. So we are now going to be offering that. Now, not every class in pathway 2 will transfer to a four-year. So, but the majority of them will. And it does still result in an ABA. Our business management program, again, this one is designed to get people into a four-year program. They take a lot of core business classes, and one of the takes on this is our personnel and human resources management class. We are working on a pathway from our business management to Oakland University's bachelor's in human resources management. One of our full-time faculty has her master's in human resources, worked in human resources for many years, and is developing many classes related to the human resources arena. And we're working on that pathway right now. Many of our, this business management program will lead to Oakland University, as well as Wayne State and others. This program, one of the newer not brand new, but newer. And when we talk about soft skills, we hear this so much from our business advisory board, that employers are really looking for those soft skills, those abilities for students, for employees to be able to interact and network and all of those good things. So within the last couple of years, we've the last class on here called Management Decision Making and Critical Analysis. This is a capstone class, and it takes all of the principles of management, marketing, accounting, and the student works through an entire project and actually they start the project even in the class prior, because by the time they get to this class, they're actually implementing their project, and they have to come up with their budget, their project management. We do have a project management class in our Principles of Management program, or our business management program. They have to get out into the community and they have to implement their project. They have to report back and present on their project and the outcomes. So this management decision making and critical analysis class really brings all of the business management to its, to its finals, so that these students really learn what it's like to be out there and almost, we talk about the internal entrepreneur, the people within businesses who still have to act in an entrepreneurial way. And we're seeing a lot of that. And so our business management program helps get our students to that point where and we have business communications. There's a lot of presenting and gathering facts and then presenting throughout the business management program, and in a lot of our programs, to be perfectly honest, because we're hearing about that so much from our community, our business community. We also have an entrepreneurship and small business program. We are also hearing that a lot of people are very interested in going into entrepreneurship and small business. Many of our students come from families that have small businesses. And so this program has really been growing. It's been around for a while, and right now it's part of our general business degree. We are looking right now at separating this and making its own degree program in entrepreneurship and small business, because like I said, it's really been growing. We have a lot of other connections within the community for entrepreneurs and small business owners. We're part of, I don't know if you've heard of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Detroit program, but we are one of the providers of that program. And we have a lot of other connections within the community for entrepreneurs and small businesses. So one of the things we're looking at doing is pulling a lot of the classes that exist in our other programs that are more related to entrepreneurs. For example, we have an accounting class specifically for small businesses, pulling that out of the accounting program and bringing that into this new kind of this new packaged entrepreneurship program. We have a marketing class for small businesses, pulling that out of the marketing program and putting that into this program, so that we now have an entire degree around those who either already have businesses and are growing them, or want to step foot into their own business. And so these are some of the skills that they develop, how to develop a business plan, doing their marketing research, how to obtain capital resources, et cetera, et cetera. So right now this exists as part of our general business degree, and we're going to be looking probably in the fall to go to curriculum committee on making this a separate program. Along the same lines, and again, this is not a degree, this is an actual project program that exists here at Macomb. And I really wanted to bring this to light because it's very important. Not only does it serve our students, it serves the community as a whole. And this is our Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This started out with some seed monies where we actually funded the starting of several businesses within Macomb County. It has grown and it is now a center where our students, our graduates, and community members at large can come and receive advice and to how to build a small business. So I'm going to show you a very quick clip here about Macomb Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Let's hope this works. There we go. Oh, are you seeing that? No?
No, we're not.
You're not. Okay, hold on just a moment. Let's see if I can. Are you seeing anything?
Yeah, we're back to your slide, your PowerPoint in work mode.
Shoot. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and see if I can.
Great innovation.
Are you seeing that?
From someone with
No, click reshare.
brilliant idea.
Okay,
An entrepreneur.
there we go.
I know, it's so fun.
You know, it's just weird because we're a teams organization.
Yeah.
And I know how to use Teams like crazy, but Zoom always throws me off. Let me see if I can.
If you can reshare and click
Yep.
on the video, you might have better success. Okay.
All right. Let me. Are you seeing it?
Yeah, but it's muted now, so
Yep.
unmute it. Okay.
A brilliant idea. A
Okay.
hunch. An entrepreneur. You don't have to be Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, or Steve Jobs to become a successful entrepreneur. All that's needed is your idea, your vision, and Macomb CIE. Macomb Community College's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is your community resource. Our professionals can help you make your bold vision your new business. The CIE provides free resources and services to encourage and support the Macomb County business community. The CIE services include experienced staff with proven track records in entrepreneur training, coaching, and mentoring, networking and community connection opportunities, workshops, seminars, and competitions. Whether you're a Macomb student, a resident, or a business owner, we're here to help you. Are you ready to get going? Connect with the CIE staff to schedule a 1-hour assessment. We'll develop an action plan, help you identify your next steps, link you to resources to help you get started, and we'll be there every step of the way, guiding you as you implement your action plan. All this at no charge. Here's Ashley Trempis, who turned challenges in her sign language studies into opportunity.
The CIE has helped me grow as a business owner, a entrepreneur, a startup business. Just having that support and that community and that network to push you forward, and each time it's like, okay, what's next? How can we help you next? How can we get you to that next level. My name's Ashley Trumpus. I'm the founder of Sign On and a CIE entrepreneur.
Are you ready to make your bold vision your new business? Schedule your 1-hour assessment. Contact the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship today, 586-226-4833.
So Ashley Trumpus actually, let me see if I can go back to share screen. And
Good job, Elise. You're getting there.
I know, man. All right. So Ashley Trumpus was a student at Macomb Community College who was taking a sign language class and decided that it would be so helpful to be able to actually use sign language with another person. And she developed a textbook software. You talk about entrepreneurship being not starting from the beginning, not something brand new, just taking something that already exists and making it better. And that's exactly what Ashley did. She saw the need to actually practice sign language with people who were deaf, who could, or who were children of deaf adults or whomever that was a skilled sign language person. And she connected those people with students learning sign language so that they meet via, just like we are, via remote learning, and the student of sign language then gets to practice with an expert in sign language. And just that connection helped students learn so much better. And we now at Macomb Community College use her manuals, her textbooks, and her methods, as do many other colleges. So Ashley Trumpus started out as a student in American Sign Language and went on to become a very successful entrepreneur. So these are the kinds of ideas that come out of our student population. We've, again, like I said, we also work with many people just within the community. So even the high school students who might have great ideas are eligible for assistance through the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Again, our general business degree is an ABA, highly transferable. We have many of our partners, university partners, who will accept up to 92 credits, meaning students save a lot of money. They can take up to 92 credits here at Macomb Community College, bump into one of our 4-year partners like Wayne State University, and just take maybe that last year at the partner college and get their bachelor's degree. It
Hey,
really,
Elise, sorry to interrupt, but you're back to your first slide. So I don't know if you want to.
Oh.
It's, you didn't get into your presentation mode. We have about.
All right, I am so sorry.
No, you're good. I did. Last one I did, I was thought I was cruising, and someone finally told me mine.
I appreciate that so much.
Totally
okay.
Yep, you have about 5 minutes left, Elise.
Okay. All right. Let's step it up. Let me see if.
There we go.
Are you seeing general business?
No, we're seeing entrepreneur, your 5th slide.
All right. Let me.
Yep, just click like that. You can probably just do that.
All right.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, apologies.
That's okay.
So our general business degree, very transferable. One thing I do want to say, and I know I've been very generic about our transfer pathways, I do want you to know that our standard response is that if we have a student who comes in who does want to transfer and pursue a bachelor's degree, they really need to meet with a counselor. Our transfer pathways are so vast, truthfully, throughout the state of Michigan and throughout the country. So we really not just strongly advise, a student really can't choose a transfer pathway until they've met with a counselor. So it's very difficult for me to talk today about anything specific, but I will tell you that our general business degree is highly transferable, and this is the degree that typically 92 credits can be taken at Macomb. The next one, global supply chain management. This has just been a growing area, as we've all been hearing. And this one, Wayne State University's Mike Ilitch School of Business. It is 100% transferable. Students can take 82 credits at Macomb and then go into Wayne State University's supply chain management. 82 credits will transfer to Eastern Michigan, and 84 credits, I believe, to the University of Michigan Flint. So again, big program. Students are getting jobs like crazy coming out of this program. Marketing, we now have sports and entertainment marketing, e-marketing. We're definitely into the whole age of digital marketing, and we teach digital and all the technology that it comes with marketing these days, because that is very important. And we work with a lot of businesses. One of the things that we did, just real quick, one of the things that we got very involved with during the very first part of the pandemic was helping area small businesses develop their digital marketing footprint, because it was non-existent. And we really did get involved, our marketing faculty, and got involved with helping small businesses get their digital footprint going. This is our Paralegal program. Again, this is an associate of applied science. It is approved by the American Bar Association. So this is a licensure that we need to keep up on a very regular basis. We get audited to maintain their strict regulations. And so we add and delete as they need us to. And you should know too that we're very Michigan, we are Michigan focused. All of our instructors are local attorneys and judges. You do have to be an attorney, you do have to have your Juris Doctorate to teach in this program. One other thing, this is not a degree program, but I always love to bring this up because students who might be interested in the legal field may find court reporting a tremendous opportunity. It is not a 2-year program. It is a non-credit program, but the average court reporter in the state of Michigan comes out of this program at about $59,000. We've had many people, great stories about court reporters out in the field who are just doing fabulously as far as their, and you talk about gig work, you can do gig work as a court reporter, where you just do depositions and things like that. This really is a career pathway that somebody who's interested in going into the legal field might find very interesting. So I always like to bring that one up.
Elise,
And
before
just
you hit that last slide, if you could,
Yeah.
you skipped hospitality and management.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and that would be, I think that would be a really good one to cover your 8th slide real fast.
I apologize.
No, you're good.
So one of the things we're doing right now with our hospitality management, and we taught, and Sarah mentioned the short-term credentials, stackable credentials. One of the things that I've been very involved with is looking at how we can give people credit for work experience, doing test outs and certifications. And I've been very involved in this for many years at the college, and I'm now a part of a committee working on this. And one of the first things we're doing is looking at hospitality, because we have so many people coming in who have restaurant experience, hospitality experience, and they may be able to step in the door here at Macomb already having some college credit just based on work that they've already done. Maybe they've gotten their Serve Safe certifications, their tips certification for bartending, things like that. So we're looking at hospitality first, because it's one of those areas where we see a lot of people coming in that already have a lot of this experience. And then my final is just business by the numbers, just to show you that about 59% of our business students, when they come into Macomb and they declare a major, they declare that they intend to transfer to one of our business university partners. Wayne State is our biggest university partner for our business students, and then Oakland, Walsh, and then we also have partnerships with Northwood. So we get a lot of students from high school coming in and saying, my intention is to attend Macomb and then transfer on to a four-year university. But not everybody has to, but about 59% of our business students, that's what they intend to do. So thank you very much. I hope I hit my my time allocation, and I apologize for the glitches here today.
No, you did great, Elise. Thank you so much. Does anyone want to jump in? We have a couple minutes before your sign out to ask a direct question to Elise. I will just say that, especially with the entrepreneur students in your Center for Innovation, that's really helpful to know, because our students that are very entrepreneurial in their spirit, we want them still to be able to have some type of grounded education so that they can put their best foot forward when they're embarking on entrepreneurship endeavors. So that was great to learn about that. And if we can just get our students to access those courses and maybe not necessarily focus on gen eds from the onset, then we could maybe hook them better in pursuing, you know, those types of careers. So, so we have a couple minutes. Does anyone have any direct questions for Elise about those programs? We had the presenter for, we did a Macomb Community College continuing education presentation in March, and we had a former student from the court reporting program. She was in her car, actually. She was wonderful, and she was talking about being a mom and how much money she's able to make, but not have to work full time and gig her work out as a court reporter. And it's very, it's not really known how successful and how in demand it is. So I'm glad that you brought that up again.
Some of my favorite stories, because I was the director of continuing education for a long time, and court reporting reported to me. It was in my area. I mean, we have stories of court reporters who made more money than the judges that they worked for. We have stories, yeah, seriously. One of the interesting stories was during the Kwame Kilpatrick court situation, the court reporter in 3 months made over $200,000. They pulled her out of retirement because she was, now these are people that are obviously, they are at the top of their game. They literally pulled this woman out of retirement because she was a federal court reporter. And I mean, she was she made over $200,000 in 3 months. I mean, you know, they have court reporters at the UN. They have court, and then the other thing is, the other aspect of court reporting is closed captioning. And so all those closed captioning television programs, whether it's sports, news, all of those things, those are all court reporters, but they're doing it in it's called closed captioning. So it's for the hard of hearing or whatever.
Yeah.
It really is an amazing area to go into, and people can make really good money.
And not to mention our students are professionals at texting, writing short.
Exactly.
They're way faster than we all are. So they probably have that hand-eye coordination, brain connection.
And that's what we say. We say that court reporting really is very, very kind of high tech.
Yeah.
And computer, and yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Well, I hope everybody got something from today. I know, like I said, business and psychology are the two most popular pathways that I seem to have come across my work when I work as a career counselor with students. And really, business is the toughest for me to be able to help students feel that there's, you know, a need for them to continue their education and learn the aspects of business. And it's not just becoming an entrepreneur. You need to learn how to do that. But as I mentioned before, you know, sometimes those influencers get into our kids' brains, and there are success stories, no doubt, but it's also important that they know that they can jump into some certificate programs at the local community college and just sort of kind of get dip their toe in the water a little bit to learn about what those different business pathways are. So as a reminder, I'm going to populate that sign out link for you. Feel free to email me if you have any concerns or issues with that immediately. Kendra will be sending out, my secretary, she will send out the sketch application, print it, sign it. There's no cost for this sketch. Throw your PIC number in there, rescan it, and if you can get it over to me within a couple of days, when I get everybody's, then I can get it uploaded to the state with your attendance and get you on your way. And as a reminder, I will wrap up this series in May with just an overall conversation about stackable credentials and short-term certificates, and then we'll be done for the school year. So if you have any recommendations for anything next year that you want me to focus on, any career pathway that you feel would be beneficial to you all, please email me and let me know. I'm in that planning for next year mode right now. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you guys had a great spring break, and I appreciate all the work that you do day in and day out to support the work of our students. So be well, everyone, and I will talk to you soon. And
thank you all very much. Appreciate the
Elise.
opportunity. Yep. Bye.
All right. That sign out is back in the chat. So go ahead and click it and have a great day, everyone.